3.
Hi, welcome to this special interview for the Gloriana Society. My name is Dustin Neighbors. I am the co-founder and co-chair of the Gloriana Society. And part of our special web series that we're going to do and videos that we're going to do for you guys so you can be more involved. And today we're proud to have Dr. Carole Levin. Thank you so much for doing this interview with her.
I am just delighted. I am so excited to be a member of the Gloriana Society, and I am so thrilled to be a keynote at the Gloriana Conference in November.
It's going to be fantastic, and we're delighted to have you here. Thank you for allowing us to come into your home today and take this special interview.
You are so welcome.
We have a couple of questions we want to ask to get to know you a little bit better, so that many people that are coming to the conference can see what's going to happen and get your perspective on it.
Sounds like a great idea.
Fantastic. The first question, what are the reasons that made you want to be a part of the Gloriana Society?
Well, I think it's such a great idea to have such a society, and it's kind of a sister society to the Queen Elizabeth I Society, of which I was the co-founder way back in 2001 with Professor Donald Stump, and we wanted a society that really specialized on Queen Elizabeth and her times, but we felt it was really important that it be a society where there was high quality scholarship, but also great support for postgraduate students, for young faculty, where not only would we have high levels of scholarship, we would have support, and we would have fun. And so the Queen Elizabeth I Society has been meeting since then, and we're so thrilled that we now have the sister society, the Gloriana Society, since Queen Elizabeth is in the United States, for there to be another society in the United Kingdom.
Yes, I think it's going to be a great partnership, and I think there's a lot that can be built between us. So thank you so much. We're delighted to have the QEIS, or the Queen Elizabeth I Society, as our sister society. Absolutely. What advice would you give the Gloriana Society board, since you have the experience, to achieve longevity and success in the academic market?
Well, I think it's great that you're going to be doing a conference every other year, and I would work hard at forming partnerships so that this can help you in terms of structuring your society so that you can have the support you need to do your conferences, to do the other work that you want. You want to be bringing more people in and their involvement into it, so there's a real sense of commitment on a large body of people.
Absolutely. And I think being the sister society as well, we're able to take and open it a little bit more to where it's all aspects of Elizabethan society, where you focus on, the Queen Elizabeth herself, that we can open it up much wider, and it gets much more good scholarship in there. And we
Absolutely. And a number of our members are coming over for the Gloriana.
Absolutely. We're very excited about that. What got you interested in studying Elizabethan history?
Well, this is going to sound a little silly, but as a child I was kind of bookish and a little shy, and the high point of my week was when my mom would take me to the public library. And I read a lot of books, and I read fairy tales and other books, but I would go to the corner of the library where the kids' biography books were, and I read a whole range of them, and they were all interesting. But one day I picked up one on Elizabeth. I loved her. I decided I wanted to study Elizabeth and her time period, and I've never looked back.
Absolutely. Well, that's fantastic. What do you think about the continuing study of 16th century? Why do you think the continuing study of the 16th century is so important to modern culture?
Well, I think that the 16th century is fascinating as a time that in some ways is still medieval and pre-modern, and in some ways really becoming modern. And so you have that going on, and I think it makes it especially interesting and relevant to us. I think studying the 16th century, frankly, is just fun. There's so many outsized personalities, not only Elizabeth and her father Henry VIII, but there's so much. This is the age of Shakespeare. So it's fun, it's interesting, but I think many of the lessons that we learned studying this period in terms of religious conflict, sense of nationalism, all of these really have such relevance and resonate with us today.
Absolutely. What are your top 2 or 3 current projects that you're currently working on?
Well, I have so many projects that I'm working on, as you well know. Eventually, I'm doing a book called Boudica and Her Daughters about the first century Celtic Iceni queen and how she fought the Roman invaders, and then comparisons between her and Elizabeth I in Elizabeth's reign and throughout the Stuart Age. So that's going to be my new large long-term book project. I'm also working on, I have 2 books that are in press right now. One is an encyclopedia of women in early modern England, which with the co-editors Anna Real Bertollet and Jo Eldridge Carney, and Routledge will be publishing that, and we're excited about that. It will have over 800 entries in it. Also with Anna Real Bertollet, she and I have co-edited a collection called Teaching the Pre-Modern and the Postmodern Classroom, and it's about using creative projects in teaching pre-modern history, literature, art history. We're very excited about that. I'm also working with a woman in the theater department at the University of Colorado at Boulder, and we're working on a one-woman play about Queen Elizabeth I, and that's another project because I love to do creative work as well that reflects my scholarly interests as well.
Absolutely. And your work is very expansive. Is there any favorite?
Well, I have several. It's hard to choose one. I truly love my book, The Heart and Stomach of a King, Elizabeth I and the Politics of Sex and Power. This was the first full-length study of Elizabeth that I did. I worked on it for many years, and it really looks at Elizabeth as an unmarried woman in power, how she presented herself, and how people responded to her. And the book originally came out in 1994, and to my great delight, it was just recently came out in a second edition. So that is a book I'm very, very proud of. I'm also, the last chapter of The Heart and Stomach of a King is called Dreaming the Queen, because it's on dreams on Queen Elizabeth, and I was so excited to find out these dreams that I wanted to study that whole field further. And in 2008 was the book Dreaming the English Renaissance.
Yes.
Politics and Desire in Court and Culture. I'm very, very proud of that book. But my most recent book out is an edited collection, Scholars and Poets Talk About Queens. And I really love this. My associate editor is my former student, Christine Stewart Nunez, who did her PhD at University of Nebraska in creative writing. And I wanted to combine scholarly works with modern creative works about queens. Of the 12 essays, 4 of them are by current or grad students who have now just completed their PhDs, so I'm so proud of my students, as well as Christine, 3 other students, because I do creative work. I was on their MA or PhD committees when they did creative projects for an MFA or a PhD in English, and their work is in it too. We have wonderful scholars and amazing creative work in the book, and I'm so, so proud of it, and so proud of my students for their work in it.
Congratulations. And I know that you're very good about supporting postgraduates and helping them, and early career researchers and many scholars around the world. And that shows to your incredible nature.
Well, thank you. I love doing it, and I love that there's this whole wonderful network of scholars, and some of whom have become great friends because they've met through me, and that makes me really happy too to see the wonderful work that they are doing.
You're an absolute delight. What are you most looking forward to in the conference in November?
Oh, I am so excited that the conference is at the Tower of London. This is so thrilling. So that alone is incredibly exciting. I am beyond thrilled that the other keynote is Professor John Cooper, who is a scholar that I greatly admire. He is both a wonderful scholar and a wonderful person. When I was a Fulbright at the University of York for the first 6 months of 2015, I got a chance to get to know Professor Cooper, and I have the greatest respect for him. So I'm so excited that the two of us are keynotes at this conference. And then I understand there are going to be so many wonderful papers being presented, so that is so exciting too.
We've received a lot of great, fantastic proposals. We're just in the final stages of deciding those, but yes, we've received some overwhelming response, and we're delighted with that.
I'm hoping that some of those who are accepted are some of my students who are excited to come over for the conference too. So if that's the case, I will be very proud of that.
We will soon we will soon have that outcome. And then finally, is there anything that you would like to say to our members or potential members?
I think it is wonderful for scholars not to work in isolation, but to work together, to work collaboratively, to share research and ideas with each other. I think it makes all of our work stronger. I think it makes us better scholars. I think it makes us more humane scholars. So what a wonderful opportunity the Gloriana Society is for bringing scholars together, and I'm so excited to meet many scholars in November at the conference.
Well, thank you so much. And thank you guys for joining us. Please join us for membership if you would like to. If you have any questions, please submit those. And thank you so much for joining us today.